just say hi. If you can hear me, kindly type it on the chat. Just say hi. If you can hear me. Okay, thank you, Adewale. Oh, thank you. Thanks everyone for coming to this particular chat. We call it a chat because we just have to discuss. As a Nigerian, we have to discuss, we have to open ourselves, or we have to tell ourselves the truth. And we have to, there are many opportunities that are out there that some of us, we are not aware. And the purpose of this gathering or this chat is just to ask question. That question that you cannot ask anybody, you can ask on this platform. And I want to assure you that this program we are recording it, and it's live on YouTube for every one of us to also make a reference. If you don't want to show your face, you're allowed to close your camera. But if you want to show your face like my own, you can see me anywhere you are in the world. And you can also, make it open. If you have any question, please feel free to ask question. Drop it in the chat box, and the panelist or the speaker will also attend to it. Without wasting too much of our time, we quickly go into introduction. If it's that is for few of us that we are on the platform now, while we're waiting for others to join. I will just call your name, just unmute yourself. Technical, I believe they can unmute themselves.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Sheyi, I believe we can unmute ourselves.
Yes, sir.
So please, can you please share the YouTube link? Some people are asking on the chat box, maybe they will need to join YouTube, I don't know, or which we can share that one later, probably, if it will not disturb if we can do that. So I'll just call your name. Please unmute yourself and please tell us where you are, what you do. Your name, where you are, what you do. I'll start from myself. Shegun Oke is my name. I'm an applied mathematician, and then currently I'm a postdoc. So let me call another person, our host for today, Dr. Sheyi, please, over to you, sir.
Good day, everyone. My name is Oluseyi Ajayi. I currently work with University of Lincoln as a lecturer and also as a researcher as well. Thank you.
In UK, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ojodomo, over to you, sir.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am Ojodomo Achadu. So I am chatting with you from Japan. I'm a JSPS Japan Society for the Promotion of Science Research Fellow at Shizuoka University. So I will be having some chat with you today. Thank you so much. Yep.
You're welcome, Doc. I have here Dr. M.A.O. If I pronounce it, Dr. M.A.O., over to you. You can unmute yourself and introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Adeni Michael Olatoyi. I'm not yet a doctor, actually. It's just a mono-oxidase, just like what would I call it now?
The person.
So my name is Adeni Olatoyi.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome to the platform. Where are you now? What do you do?
Nigeria. I'm a master. I'm doing my master.
Okay. Okay, you're welcome. Over to you, Sin. C-Z-I-N, please. Can you introduce yourself, or Munta introduce yourself? If possible, we can rename our handle and put our name there so that we can call our name. Is the person there? Okay. Let me call another person. Babatunde Badamosi. Over to you, sir. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Babatunde Ajelade.
Okay.
I'm a PhD and as well as part-time lecturer at the University of Venda, South Africa.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. Ile Sami, over to you. Ile Sami.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ile Sami Kende, from University of Zululand, South Africa, a postdoctoral research fellow. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Samuel Adeneye.
Thank you. I'm Samuel Adeneye.
Okay.
I'm a lecturer in the College of Medicine, University of Lagos.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Adewale. Adewale. Someone is Adewale there. Okay.
Thank you so much. My name is Adewale F. Lukman, lecturer at the University of Medical Sciences in Ondo State in Nigeria.
Okay.
I'm in statistics.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. Olabimpe Olayinka.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, sir. Olabimpe Olayinka. I'm a pharmacist and also a PhD student at Department of Pharmacognosy, University of Ibadan.
Okay. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Samoratu Adegboye. Samorat Adegboye.
Hello, thank you. I'm happy to be on this platform. Please, my name is Dr. Mrs. Zamrat Adegboye.
Okay.
I have PhD in pure mathematics.
Okay.
I've finished my postdoctoral at HMSP Porto-Novo, Benin.
Okay.
I'm interested in applied mathematics, and I wish to have. I wish to have my second PhD in applied mathematics, but I've been having problem with getting supervisor for over 3 years now. I've been looking for.
Don't worry, we will get into that.
That is why I'm here.
Okay, you are welcome, ma. We will try and link you up. We will add you to a platform whereby you can discuss that. You're welcome,
okay.
Ma. So Abimbola Folami.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Abimbola Folami. I'm in South Africa, Durban University of Technology. I'm a postdoctoral fellow there, and yeah, thank you.
Okay, Fadekemi Osayi.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fadekemi Osayi, and I'm an assistant professor at Alabama State University in the US. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Temitayo Enito. Okay, Temitayo Enito, if you are there. Okay, there's another person, S.O. Salau. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Eniton Temitayo.
Okay.
I'm an HND holder of civil engineering for Federal Protective Lab.
Okay, okay, sir. You're welcome, sir. S.O. Salau, you can unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself. Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. S.O. Salau, a mathematician from Landmark University, Oman, Nigeria.
You're welcome, sir. Samson Oyeyinka. Samson.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samson Oyeyinka. currently with the University of Johannesburg in South Africa. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, I have here Akintolu. Okay, without wasting much of our time, for those of us that may not be able to call all of us again, we'll come back to introduction as people are joining us. Let's quickly move, because as we are talking now, some people in Japan, they are very close to maybe 12 a.m. for next day. So while some people are just waking up from Canada, from US, as we can see, good morning, good afternoon, every one of us are greeting one another. So here in the UK, some of us were in afternoon, and in Nigeria, I guess, and some part of Africa. So let's quickly move to today's, we have a lot of things to chat about, to discuss, and one of it is talking about the opportunity in the UK, talking about opportunity in Canada, and also in the US. Then publication ethics, and we talk about citation awareness and some other things. We just cut it sharp so that every one of us, we have, if you have your question, just type it on the chat box. The speaker will also pick it up from there, and I will help the speaker also. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to call Dr. Ojodomo Chandu, all the way from Japan. Ojodomo, are you there?
Oh yeah, I can hear you, Doctor.
Okay,
yeah.
So do you have anything to, do you want to share your screen?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you can see my screen now.
Oh, perfect. So over to you, sir.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So is it okay now? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so I would like to say a very good day to you all. It's past 10 p.m. here in Shizuoka, Japan. So I would just like to talk to you briefly on the UK Global Talent Visa. I will not spend so much time talking about this, because the last time, I think when we had this this chat, we discussed extensively some about the Global Talent Visa. But there's this particular category or this particular endorsement route that we did not quite trash out. So I will just briefly focus on that particular aspect, which is based on peer review. But before I go into that, let's just look at generally the different routes with which you can actually seek a global talent visa. So the UK Global Talent Visa, just as you know, it's a visa that is meant to attract exceptional talents. It used to be exceptional talent visa, where people with exceptional talents, high educational qualifications, and exceptionally required skills are being attracted to the UK. Just to develop the UK economy and the society in general. So this global talent visa actually is in two stages. There's a stage one, which we call the endorsement stage. Then after you go through the hurdles of the endorsement, if you get successfully endorsed, then you go now to the visa application proper, which is the stage two, where you submit other documents like you're applying for your normal visa. So first, as you can see here, there are 4 potential paths through which you can gain an endorsement for the global talent. So the first and the prominent one is through the professorial or let's just say academic and research positions. So if you, for instance, get a job in the UK as a professor, as an academician, or as an academic or a researcher, you can apply through the first route, which is the fast track endorsement, where you would require just you to submit your letter of employment and everything. And this takes, by fast track, it means it can take just a matter of even as less as 24 hours for you to get an endorsement. Then I think the maximum duration or period to get endorsed is just 1 week. So people have reported getting endorsed for under 24 hours. Like in my case, I got my endorsement within 24 hours. So the second route is for if you have a fellowship, not an employment proper. If you have a fellowship, there are a list of fellowships, which you can see here. There are a list of fellowship from the Royal Society of Chemistry and different fellowships in the UK, where you can also seek endorsement as a global talent if you have any of these fellowships. So there are so many fellowships that are there in the UK, but not all the fellowships qualify to be on the global talent because of different review process and everything. So that takes us to the third path, which is what is referred to as the endorsed funder. So there are certain funders, there are certain funding that are available to exceptional talent that brings in exceptionally talented people to the UK, and of course take a lot of academicians all around the world, but they are not listed as proper fellowships. So this kind of funding, this kind of endorsed funder route takes care of this part. So all you need to do is just to submit your funding agreement, then the letter from the HR, which is pretty much like what you have for the first two. So the first three is what we refer to as the fast track, whereby you already secure a position, something, what you have to do in the UK or what you want to do in the UK before you can actually get endorsed. But then the Global Talent Visa has two broad categories, which is referred to as the exceptional promise and the exceptional talent. So it means for people or for future leaders or potential academics or potential researchers or potential future leaders are also being given the opportunity to come to the UK. So in this case, if you are a PhD holder or you're about getting your PhD or you're exceptionally skilled in other aspects, which of course I will also discuss briefly, which is the digital technology or what we call the technician route. I'll also discuss about that very briefly. You can also find your way to the UK under this Global Talent Visa. And in order for you to do this, this actually is the fourth category where it is referred to as the peer review stage or the peer review route. So this route is non-fast track, which means it is more cumbersome in the sense that you need to really prove to yourself, you need to really gather a lot of documents. It's just like you're trying to sell yourself to the UK endorsing body or the body that endorses, which is if your field, your skills or your degrees or your talent is in the sciences, you can actually apply to the Royal Society. There's Royal Society of Science, which takes care of science. There's Royal Society of Engineering, and there's also the Medical Council, which takes care of different aspects. So you can actually apply to any of the appropriate body and sort of motivate for the fact that you are an exceptionally talented person. It could be your prior experience of as being a lecturer or being a leader or being a researcher. So therefore, everything that you know that sells you, that makes you to stand out comes into play. But the very most important aspect of this peer review process is that has made it a very, very limiting, or that is a major limitation, is what I'm going to be talking to you and how we can tackle that particular aspect. So I want to show you the next slide. So this next slide actually shows what you are expected to do if you are going through the standard career path. As you know, it takes a lot of time for you to get a fellowship or to get some jobs or to get some positions in the UK. So I know a couple of guys, a couple of people that are presently in the UK on this standard path route, on this standard peer review path. So what you need to do, the first, as you can see here, some of the mandatory requirements. So you can actually go for exceptional promise category or the exceptional talent category. If, for instance, you're a professor in Nigeria and you don't have any position yet and you feel, okay, fine, you don't want to stay or you want to move to the UK, before you get some academic position or something, you can apply under the exceptional talent and you'll be welcome. If you're also sort of a medical doctor, researcher, or a medical scientist, you can also look at this kind of route under exceptional talent. Then if you're also promising young future leader, you can consider the exceptional promise category. So the mandatory requirements, if you hold a PhD, it's a plus with some experience, then you need to provide a letter of personal recommendation from an eminent person that resides in the UK. This is actually the big drop. This is actually one of the biggest drawbacks of this path, of this career review, peer review path to securing the global talent endorsement. It's very difficult. Just like one of our researchers here mentioned that for 3 years she's been trying to get a supervisor. It's just the same thing. How can you get an eminent professor? Not just any professor, not a junior professor. Most times they consider people, they actually consider very top-notch professors, whereby they check their profile and they see that they are renowned Royal Society, fellow of the Royal Society, and all these things. So eminent professors like this, when they write a letter for you, and meeting them can also be very tricky. How do you meet them? If you already meet them, then it means you can already be on a fellowship part or something. So one of the other requirements is also the fact that you also need to, they also look at publications, fellowships that you've been awarded, scholarships, bursaries, a lot of things that you've done in the past, something to show that, yes, you have the requisite consensus building capacity to be a top leader tomorrow, if eventually you're allowed to come to the UK. So all this put together with your personal recommendation letters and everything, you can now apply. So the list of documents or things you can provide is not specific. The mandatory ones are the ones that are listed here. So if, for instance, you have one certain grant, maybe for you to do a PhD, or maybe during your PhD you got some teaching assistantships or research, you can add all these things together, put them together, just something to boost your profile to show that, yes, you have this requisite background and also the necessary training for you to be an exceptional leader tomorrow. So under this exceptional promise. So basically, I want to chip in here how do we solve or approach this getting an eminent person in the UK to apply for this career, for this standard career path or standard peer review path. One of the strategies that was used by one of my friends recently was he started making contact with some eminent professors in the UK, especially. He made sure he contacted those that he has frequently cited their work or most of some of their papers. So he's familiar with their work, and maybe one way or the other, they would have seen that, oh, this person cited my work one way or another, then made some contact for fellowship application. So in this particular case that I'm making reference to, he applied for a Newton Fellowship twice with the professor from the University of Liverpool, and it was unsuccessful. Then afterwards, then he now said, okay, Prof, can you do me a favor? I mean, I really want to come to your lab to work, but now I don't have this opportunity to get the fellowship yet. If you can write me a letter, maybe I can come to the UK, whilst I think it will fast track getting other job opportunities for me, and also being close to you while we still try to apply for fellowship. So this worked for him. The professor never really knew him from anywhere, but he got familiar with him because of the fact that they were writing proposals together, exchanging ideas back and forth. Then the professor felt comfortable enough to write him that kind of letter. So the letter is also very engaging, and it's also highly demanding and involving. So it means you have to state how you know the person. You need to make specific statements to show that, yes, this person has this capacity to be this, or to build, to transform into an exceptional leader tomorrow. So it's difficult for you to just find anybody that will be committed, that will commit into writing such a letter for you. So this is why it is not very easy for people to go through this part if they cannot easily find somebody to write for them. So I've also known some friends that could not even, they just got their supervisor who is a junior professor or maybe not even up to a professor, just write for them, and they tried and they said no, they don't, they didn't get the endorsement. So basically, that is it for that. So I just want to share some other aspect of the peer review part, the specific and detailed requirements here that you have to bring or that you have to prepare. So the first is your most recent CV. This is very important. We need to format the CV quite properly to reflect key information. And in most cases, maybe all basic information should be 2 pages. Then if you have some publication, that can be an attachment. Then the letter of recommendation, yes, which of course I've talked a lot. These are the specific requirements here. The eminent person must state the following: how the person knows you, your achievement in the specialist field, how in the opinion of the eminent person you exhibit exceptional talent, how you benefit from living in the UK, the contribution you make to UK research excellence and the wider society. So that's also very key. Then it's also very important, if you're coming under exceptional talent or promise, if you have evidence of a membership of a national academy or your professional society, then if you've been awarded prestigious prizes, then in most cases, you can also get additional recommendation letters from, if for instance, you've done 1 postdoc or 2 postdocs previously, you can also get some very robust, some good comments or recommendation letter from these professors. It will also add to the peer review process. So then also very important is the personal statement, whereby you outline your cases, you state why you want to be, your future aspirations, your current research interest, and also your achievements. So if you have all these documents, so in most cases, you should have a document totaling up to about 10 documents approximately. For one of my friends that applied 3 years ago, all the documents total about 10 documents. He got letters from all the supervisors he had worked with, some fellowships and postdocs that he got in South Africa, in Japan. He put them together, and different letters and just anything, but you don't have to put a lot of letter, but you also need to make sure that you supply documents that can show how what stands you out and what makes you qualify for this global talent visa. So I also like to also share this slide as well with you, whereby there are also some very key actions that are also considered highly important, that are also considered very important in the course of, I'm not sure if you can see the screen now.
Yes, we can see. Yeah, just increase it a bit.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's okay.
So in this
key point,
in this standard peer review process, you don't need, your employer don't do anything for you. That means you don't need a job in the UK. No employer requirement, nothing. You don't need any. If you have a potential contact, it's okay, but you don't need any job offer, anything in the UK. So the only thing that you need personally from the UK is to get someone that can endorse you, just like we said, just like I said earlier. Then it shows that all your application must certainly, definitely show a strong track record and detailed contribution to your field. Then how would you use this, your talent to contribute to the economy of the UK? Yeah, we already said, discussed about that. So then actions required by the candidate specifically, yeah, which I've also said, which is the same thing that is also mentioned in this document here. Your most recent CV, personal letter of recommendation. Then you also need to supply your own personal statement. So when you have all these documents and you submit, you can now allow for 5 weeks. Then after 5 weeks, you now get your decision from which of the bodies that you apply to, either the Royal Society or of Engineering or the Medical Council, or as the case may be. So I think the major for me, the major stumbling block for applying for this is just how to get the eminent person in the UK. So, and these are some of the things that some of us that are in the UK can begin to source for one another. So I also want to share briefly with you. This is another part to the global talent visa, which actually goes for if you have. It's also different from the standard peer review part. This technation, the global talent technation part or route, is also another route because technation is also another endorsement body. But this actually deals in digital technology, which is the IT, and if you are going to become an entrepreneur in digital technology, information technology, artificial intelligence. So I will just briefly run through this technation. So this says that the UK open up, they actually open up, there's a demand for the global tech talent. So based on this, the UK digital technology sector is also focusing on recruiting exceptional talent from all over the world so that they can build the UK digital technology or the digital economy. So from this report, which I just decided to share with you, you will see here that the top 5 roles or skills for groups for endorsement on the global talent visa for application through this technation route is people that have expertise in these areas, AI and machine learning, academic researchers, of course, like if you're skilled in your area, which is in the information technology, product management, data scientists, and software engineers. So this report says that India, US, and Nigeria are the top 3 countries from which exceptional talent has come to the UK through the technation global talent visa. I am currently in one of the technician forums, and I see a lot of Nigerians, especially those that are based in South Africa and also in Nigeria, another part of the world, engaged in deep discussions on how to help each other, which is in terms of profile building, perusing through each other's personal statements and CV, and also it's a whole lot of forum where people are helping each other out. So I think I'll also drop the link here in the researcher platform so that we can also register. We can also you can visit the group anonymously, so you don't have to disclose your identity. So we can just see what is going on in there. So then I really want to also show this chart that shows, okay, I'm also really interested in this chart that shows the acceptance. Okay, yeah, so this chart actually shows us the number of applications that has been received. So this one shows total applications and endorsement rates by continent. So, and this shows that we can see that it's not very easy to get through this route. So in Africa, so far, or for 2020, they had a total of 415 applicants, but endorsed 415, which is less than 50% of those that are applied. And you can see it's also barely almost the same for, okay, maybe not the same, but other continents, you have more than 50% being endorsed based on total application, except for Asia that is here. So, but the good thing is you can actually apply several times as you wish. So if your endorsement get refused, that's not the end. It means maybe you've not properly brushed up your documents. So it means you can go back. I've seen some people actually apply twice before they became successful, which is based on omission or some certain overstatement or some oversight or some lack of coherence in the experience or whatever skills that is stated. So all this can actually affect your application. So that is why it is very important that different forum or some kind of guidance is really, really very important, or especially having your peers to go through your profile and this kind of things to scrutinize them and say, okay, you can add this and add that. So this technician is also another path that we can also use, that we can also get endorsement for global talent. But this is strictly for if you have interest in digital technology. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you have some business ideas, if you want to set up some company in the UK, maybe you have your money, maybe you have your contact, you want to set up some company in the UK, you, of course, certainly you must have some background leading up to you having that kind of idea, that kind of a dream, or some certain level of expertise and key skills. So all this will be required. You package all the documents, which is similar to everything that we discussed in the other standard peer review part, send them to TechNation, and they get it also endorsed. If they feel that, yes, you can contribute to the digital development, the digital economy or digital technology development of the UK, they get you endorsed, fast track route, and you can also get your global talent visa. So just as it is, you don't need a job as well. You don't need a job offer to go through the TechNation. So you just need your prior skills, your experience, and also your future aspiration and sort of a plan for the future and what you can bring to the table if you are eventually allowed to come to the UK. So I think I will just briefly stop for now. So all this, I will drop the link in the researcher so that we can go through. And if we have, if there are questions and also other things, then we can discuss on from there through
Thank
Dr.
you. Thank you so much. This is powerful and it is eye-opening. I remember when we were discussing about TechNation, I can see that we will get a slide. Yes, somebody is asking already, can we get a slide? It's possible. I will ask him to send a slide to me so that I can upload it on our platform, on our WhatsApp platform, so that you can also send it to your loved ones. You see, that is always, everything still boils down to our research. How are you involved in your research? How are you involved in your collaboration with people? How are you involved? Are you the one that normally run alone? No. But what is our involvement in people's life? How can you collaborate? Are you doing a quality research? Are you talking to people that are matters? If we are not doing all these things, sincerely, we might not go anywhere. We might not move an inch. Nobody will see you. And the more you do the quality research, the more you talk to people that have the like mind. You can't just sit down and be working and think you submit your CV. It mentions something which is very key. Format your CV. Some of us, the way we write our CV, it's always a problem to us. Some of us are getting rejection based because of our CV. We normally use the same method we use in Nigeria, and yet we are waiting for the miracle to happen. Nothing will happen. We can Google the latest CV, and after this chart, I will try and upload some sample of CVs that we can just emulate and see the way we can package ourselves. And it's all about packaging anyway. There's nothing new, but once you can package yourself, you will surely get there. I believe we have in the house Dr. Awolayo. For some of us that have the question, we will surely, if you have questions, you can raise up your hands And if you don't have now, you can ask in the next section. We have another person, Dr. Dapo Awulayo. Are you in the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we have one of us is also one of our researcher is from Canada. He will be talking about the opportunity in Canada and some of the things we need to know about Canada. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okay. Again, afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Like Dr. Okay rightly said, my name is Dapo Awolayo. I'm stationed here in Calgary, University of Calgary. I'm a postdoctoral researcher. I don't have any slides to share there. I would just it will just be more of conversational, trying to inform us of various opportunities we can explore in Canada. Just a disclaimer, though. I think in our last chat, we had people talked about their experience when it comes to Canada and how things can be. Yeah, true. It can really go that way. So one thing I want to point out here is that if you have other options, you have UK, you have US as the other options to explore, please rightly do that. But if Canada seems to be your best option for now, yeah, I'd say don't be discouraged. Go for it. There are various ways by which you can explore various opportunities, and like Dr. K said, it's more about packaging yourself, trying to put yourself out there, putting your documentations together. One thing that I do realize, even for me, moving from United Arab Emirates to Canada is, or even coming from Nigeria, it's the way we do write stuff, the way we write CVs, the way we write our cover letters, the way we do write a statement, personal statement, research statement, teaching statement. We need to be more direct, in those things. And when you're writing those things, there are so many things that we consider very small things that we do back home in Nigeria. But when you're writing them, you have it's not about exaggeration, but you have to be able to package it in a very good show, so that whoever is reading it will clearly understand and will be able to see the gravity, the magnitude of what it is you've done. So here in Canada, there are 3 major sectors for job opportunities, R&D activities. There is the service industry. The service industry contains, things like health sector. So in health sector, there are people working in, different health. So in Canada, we have like about, can't remember now, maybe 10 or 11 provinces. So each of those provinces, they have their own health authority. So, all those health authority, we have very diverse researchers working in, trying to do data analysis, trying to do some research to advance, what their health needs are. So it's not only those that are in the medicine. We have mathematicians, we have statisticians, we have all various people working in those sectors. When talking about service sector, still we have the banking sector. We have R&D, yes, R&D personnel, people developing codes, not software engineers this time around. People that something that has to do with data science and machine learning, if your area is into that. So that's what service sector. There is also the energy sector. Oh, so one thing I also wanted to mention about service sector is that, again, the province you are coming to. So say, for example, I'm very sure everybody is quite familiar with Canadian immigration system. So it's quite common. The express entry, with the express entry with PhD, some of your experiences, if you're a long lecturer in Nigeria, you could claim those experiences. If you are just coming off your PhD, you could claim your research experiences during your PhD to add to your point. Then the other necessary things that you need to do, IELTS and your WES or ICAS, just to equalize your certificate. One good thing about doing WES is the fact that if you plan to go to the US later on, you could easily tell WES if there is a need for you to do WES in the US. So because they already have the documents, so they can easily transfer, you don't need to request for your transcript or request for all this documentation again. So WES is always a good one to do. And just approach the express entry pool. Then there's also the different provincial nominees. If you have families in places like Manitoba, places like Saskatchewan, they could give you a bit of an edge to get more those provincial nominations. That's it about express entry. So I don't need to spend more time on that. So going back to those jobs in Canada, so there is also the energy sector. The energy sector has been kind of transitioning into more renewables. The province, the energy capital of Canada, which is Alberta, they've been undergoing that energy situation for the past 5-6 years now. So they've more or less been transitioning into things that had to do with geothermal, things that had to do with hydrogen facility. Now in North America, the 2 hydrogen facility will be in Alberta. So that's the first 2 in the whole world, I think so. So if you're really looking into going into research in energy, so Alberta, Saskatchewan would be your best province to go to. For manufacturing generally, so manufacturing as well, I would say manufacturing in Canada, it's more like an engineering kind of a thing. So the R&D part of it, they do it in collaboration with US. So the thing is, Canada and US, they do a lot of sharing of ideas, sharing of information. They do that a lot. And the good thing about coming to Canada is that when you become a Canadian citizen, you can work in the US without going through the tussle of visa. So there is something called the North American Free Trade Agreement. So it's called NAFTA. So with that, your employer in the US doesn't need to sponsor you. You just need to get your offer letter, walk to the border, and show them that and apply for the TN visa. So with the TN visa, you can work directly in the US, and that's it. So if you're outside Canada, or if you're looking at moving to Canada, one major way I think you can explore is postdoctoral. There are schools in Canada are not as much as in the US, but there are still those schools that you could. There are applications, professors needing postdoc in their lab, so you could check those out. And also with the new diversity program that they are really pursuing in most universities. So Canada right now, they have like Black postdoctoral fellowship, so where the target is only for Black community. So you can check those. I would send the link to some of the schools. I know University of Toronto, they have one, and it's about $75,000 a year. University of Calgary, York University. So there are if you just put on Google the Black postdoctoral fellowship in Canada. So those are ones to explore when you are, even if you don't want to go, you don't want to do the express entry. If you apply and you get those fellowship, they will process your work permit for you to move to Canada. One thing I do tell people is, at the end of the day, it's not about we pursuing this immigration, because what we want is the work. We want to get ourselves involved, engaged. Eventually, for me, I've been here. I've had interviews in the US, and I don't have US visa. I've had interviews. I've worked in the US before moving back to Canada. I've had interviews in France. It didn't work out, but if I had gotten it, I would have gone as well. But you applying from anywhere you are, if you feel like, don't feel like you need to have 1,000 citations. You need to do such a groundbreaking work to be eligible to do that. Everything has to do with packaging what you think you have done. You might have developed a correlation, and that correlation might have been used, in different ways. So you trying to sell that correlation, that paper that you have developed, it goes a long way compared to someone that had 50 papers and couldn't sell, what they've been able to have. So if you're anywhere you are at, you can check out those opportunities in Canada. Apply. In some cases you apply for 1,000 places, and you get 50 interviews, or even maybe less than that, 10 interviews, and you never can know. So don't limit yourself. That's what I would say. One thing that also works out in Canadian market is networking. So it's the same thing that we talk in Nigeria, man no man. It goes a long way in the Canadian market. So networking is what we do call it here. So someone. Recently, I applied for it's an environmental engineering company. So they needed a modeler. So I saw the position and I was like, okay, before I apply, let me just reach out to people on LinkedIn. So I checked the company website, and I just added, one of these consultants or specialists in the company, and left a message. Oh, I'm applying for this position. Would you like to chat, for us to chat? And he replied. He was like, oh, sure. That you have seen my profile, you have seen my CV. That you would talk to the HR so they can get my CV and they can get me to interview with them. So that's one of the ways to easily interact with your potential employer in Canada. So networking goes a long way. If you go, I'm in engineering. Sorry. Okay, my field. So my degrees are in chemical petroleum engineering. So I've been doing things related to oil and gas, carbon storage, geothermal, hydrogen storage, or anything that has to do with subsurface transport and all this system. So that's my area of research. So like I was saying, networking is the best, one of the best way to go for it. Anywhere you're at, if you see an organization, a company, there are also research institutes in Canada, but not as high as in the US. We do have a nuclear research institute in Ontario. There are 2 research institutes in Alberta. I can send a link to all these spaces for you to explore and look at all those opportunities. So if you feel like you've been doing more into statistics and you want to do data science and machine learning, I think it's you selling yourself to those positions. I do tell people, whatever statistical things that you've done in the past, you have to package that in your CV. And Canada, like you said, they are really opening up into those area, trying to develop startup. I myself, I do have a startup looking into data science and machine learning, and we've been getting clients. Right now, we have about 2 clients that we are working with. So, and with startup, Canada is providing a lot of money. So if you have the idea, if you have this the idea, it's just you getting a grant. So there are in different provinces, I believe. I'm speaking from Alberta, from Calgary. So in different provinces, there are some innovate tech organizations that will be ready to partner with you, that they will be willing to give you the funds and work with you on a 50-50 kind of system. And in the same way, there are some postdoctoral programs that do have that partnership with the industry, where probably the industry is contributing 50% of the funds, and the university is contributing the other 50%. So you work on an industrial based kind of research, and you know, if you feel like going into the industry, that would probably be your pathway into the industry. When it comes to there are also governmental roles that I mean, I see a lot of PhDs older going into, especially when it comes to public policy. So if you are really into, you know, those kind of positions, I would say your area to target would be major cities, capitals. You know, that's where you see those governmental positions. So in Alberta, you're looking at Edmonton. In Saskatchewan, you're looking at Regina. In Ontario, you're looking at Ottawa as, you know, for the federal government kind of positions. Though there are federal government kind of positions across Canada as well, but Ottawa would be, you know, the hottest area where you want to look at. Toronto is also a place where you want to look out for the capital of Ontario. BC, Victoria is also a nice place, a very expensive city to for you to know that. But those are areas that you want to look out for. I'm missing Quebec. I mean, Quebec can be kind of a tricky situation in the sense that I've heard people that for you to live comfortable in Quebec, you need to know a bit of French. And if you have a partner, you know, and you have your family, so surviving in a place where you guys have to probably learn French. I mean, English is allowed. I mean, English, it's a bilingual community, but it tends towards French more than English. Yeah, another thing I wanted to put out there is if you're coming to Canada and your partner is in the health sector, your partner is a doctor, your partner is a nurse, it can be very tricky. And why I said this can be very tricky is the health system to doctors and nurses are kind of closed system. Pharmacy, I would say, they're kind of closed system. It takes a long while, you know, for them to review your partner's or your partner's application, your partner's licensing, compared to US or UK that, you know, easily you could do that. But again, the earlier you start, the better it is. If, like I said, I'm starting this conversation if, you know, Canada seems to be one of the best options that you do have right now. So yeah, reach out to people. My wife is also in the health sector. She's a nurse from Nigeria, and it took her 4 years to get into the nursing system over here. So it's something, and I remember having this conversation with Dr. Oke, you know, about nursing licensing in Canada. Recently, I've heard of people that takes 2 years. So that's why I said, you know, it depends on the earlier you start, the better it is. For doctors, it can be really challenging. I've seen people that have moved to Canada, had to move back to UK to get the residency. Then from residency in the UK, they can easily move back to Canada. And I've seen nurses in UK that came to Canada that it seems like they just have to start again, like a nurse coming from Nigeria, only that they exempted, you know, some them doing some other courses that nurses from Nigeria would do. So it's kind of have those variations. Yeah, promise to move to. It's also very critical, you know, if you don't have any job offer, you're moving to Canada and, you know, just hoping to get something started. So one promise that I would really advise that you want to look into, it's Ontario, because they have lots of universities, lots of colleges compared to other places. So if you are the type that you just want to teach at, you know, universities, colleges, yeah, the academia roles. So it's something that you want to first maybe target those small colleges. Based on those small colleges, apply, try to get your foot into the door. So from there, you can easily get your way into those universities. Like I said, postdoctoral positions are all available, especially with Black Fellowship. There's also the one of the biggest fellowship in Canada. It's the Banting postdoctoral fellowship. It's quite extensive. I applied myself. I got to the national stage. I think I fall short of the 55. They give 55 applicants out of about 250 applications or so. So yeah, it's quite competitive, and so like it's I mean I might not get it, but there are other folks, other Nigerians that I've seen that got it, and again, everything is packaging your applications, exaggerating. I'll probably use the word exaggerating what you've done, and find people to review for you. It's very critical. Dr. Oke said something about collaboration being very key. So don't work in silo. Try to find people to work with. And that's it. So for academics application, especially now in Canada, there are so many diversity programs. I was telling someone, I mean, even we don't like it. We don't want to see ourselves like, I mean, so because I'm Black, is that why you're employing me? No, it might be the reason for that movement. They needed more Black people to change some policies in those schools. But get your feet into the door. You know yourself. You know what you're made of. So when you get into when you use the opportunity to get your feet into the door, you can do your wonderful job and let them know you for those wonderful jobs. So yeah, there are various academic positions that I've seen, in sciences, in engineering. In engineering, you have to be doing something in environmental because Canadians are really pushing hard on energy. And I mean, folks in energy are also pushing back. So there's still that tension. But I would say you want to do something. You want to do something in the area of energy transitioning, environmental, water, those kind of things. Building also, if you're in civil engineering, engineering. I'm just thinking about other engineering. Okay, so if you're in education sector, I'm talking about. So I'm trying to relate that to like education sector. Doctor, okay, what do you mean by education sector?
To cut you, we remember on this platform we have diversity of different fields. Some of us are in education, some of us are in agri, some are in finance, some are in arts. You understand? Some are in information technology, information science, different field.
Yes, so I want to understand education because I could be in engineering, I could also be in education. So that's
agreed. Some of us have a B Edu, MSc Edu.
Oh, got it. Okay, I got that. So yeah, if you are in education, I mean IT, if you are in information systems, software engineering is very needed, and there are those opportunities that if you even just put it on Google, they might not be as paying as the Silicon Valleys of the US, but if you're in Canada and you want to, expose yourself to those opportunities, like I said, after your 3 years, you get your citizenship, you can move to the US and work in the US. I've had people that what they are just waiting for is to get their citizenship and move to the US. So there is that opportunity. If you're in education, I would say, depending on where you want to go, if you feel like, I mean, I've seen people in education that have gone into teaching secondary schools. So teaching secondary schools, I think there is a process that you need to get some certification. So if you're able to go through that certification process, it's very easy for you to get into that. If you're the type that you don't want to go into teaching in secondary school, teaching in colleges is also an option. There are various colleges, and even people are there are various colleges in Alberta. I remember there are like about 5 or 6 colleges all around in Edmonton, Calgary, Lethbridge, in different places. So those are the places that you want to target your applications to. Reach out to me if you need links to all those places. I'm also on the WhatsApp group. If I don't have them, I would search for them and get them to you. If you're in finance and you want to do, like I said, there are R&D in the finance. Those banking sectors, they do have their R&D team. One of my friends interviewed with the team in Toronto, in Ontario. So what they do is they do the data analytics and the machine learning, trying to understand customers' satisfaction and relate that to so relate the product they are offering to customer satisfaction, and trying to do some mathematical modeling to do those predictions. So in finance, so there are R&Ds that, and like you said, if you want to go more into the industrial type and you want to leave R&D, yeah, there are opportunities that you can explore in the banking sector, in the auditing sectors, the Deloitte and the various places that you can access. Yeah, for basic medical sciences, I would say your target would be the health authorities of those provinces. So in Abata, we have Abata Health Services, and in Abata Health Services there are different areas. In those different areas, there are. If you just go to Abata Health Services website and just put in your medical science or things like that, you see some opportunities. I would say maybe when you, like in medical lab science, you probably have to do some certification, or some to get into those categories. I have little knowledge about that, but I think you might have to do that to get into those categories. So, again, reach out to me. I can find out those information for you, which I don't have right now. I think that's everything I have on my notes to discuss. If you have any questions, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Engineer Haulayo Dapo. I really want to appreciate every one of us. To be candid, we need to package ourselves. To be candid, we need to tell ourselves the truth. For example, gone are the days you ask for reference and you'll be telling me, yes, I've been knowing him for 25 years, 10 years, and this is, can they employ him? Forget about it. Your application will not go to anywhere. The best thing for us is we need to strategize. Please open your mouth, talk, ask questions. Don't die in silence. That's why the platform is for us. As a Nigerian, this is not the issue of their ethnicity or we are being biased. No, we are just telling ourselves the truth. If you go to America today, I've been in Canada. The first person that I welcome in Canada, they are Indians. They are everywhere. They are Chinese everywhere. And they are Pakistan everywhere. They help one another. As I'm talking to you, they know the number of Pakistan that will enter US today. They know the number of that will enter Canada today. So why can't we help ourselves? Must we now? So the only thing I think we can use to help one another is to tell ourselves the truth of the matter. And for few of us that are ready, I can see from our platform, I have received good number of testimony on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group. Why? People got opportunity. They got opportunity there. Some people will call me, they will ask me, oh, can you please, do you have anybody in this field? Can you link me to this person? Can you do this? And we link ourselves. Packaging. I put on the chart, I said, we are all marketers. Marketing what you have. I remember, I will share my experience. There's this, the one of US, which I'm going to talk about. But before then, I'm still waiting whether Dr. Iola is, if he's on the line, he will also come up to talk about one or two things. Then I will also call, do we have Dr. Anima Shaun in the house, please? Dr. Anima Shaun. Larry Anima Shaun. Larry Anima Shaun, if you are there, you can chat. You can put it on chat. Okay. Now, from my own from my experience, when I started this, why we just gather ourselves together, that we need to put some things together. My own experience in US application was, I did not close my mouth. I keep on telling people, I keep on asking people, please, have you done this before? Have you done this before? Can you introduce me to this? And people started doing that before my case was approved. So we are not talking about what we read in the book. We are talking about what we've applied, and it has worked for us. So let me quickly bring to the board, before we ask the question, let me quickly bring to the board Dr. Samson Oyeyinka. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Samson will quickly open our eyes to some of the ethics of publication. Then we will move on to US. There is opportunity in US too. Then I'll come up and tell us one or two things about US opportunity. Then if you have any question, you can talk to us from there. You can. Then if you need the link for the WhatsApp, it's already shared on the chat. Please click on the link and then you meet us there. Okay, Dr. Samson, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and a very good afternoon, morning, evening to us all, depending on our regions. Once again, I'm Samson, and I count it a privilege to be part of this group. The initiative is a great one. Well, for those who have been following, one of the things that, particularly for those of us who are in the academia or research institute, one of the things that helps build your profile and that helps put you on the global scene is your publications. And I think there was a time myself and Dr. Kerr were discussing about how do you improve your global presence? How do you prove your worth as a researcher? Start from that. Many of us are researchers. We are not on Google Scholar or ResearchGate. And of course, people who need expertise in your area will not be able to see your work. So I want to encourage us, if you don't have a Google Scholar account, try and get one. Try and open an account on ResearchGate so that you can improve your global presence. That's the first thing I'd like to say. Now, the second thing I would say is, depending on your discipline, try to network and collaborate. I'll give a very good example of myself. By God's grace, I am pushing hard. I still have the possibility to push more, but I want to share a bit of experience with us on how we can improve our publications rates. Now, when I say publication rate, I'm not looking at a game of number with regards to just publishing in any outlet. Of course, I want to believe that majority of us will be conscious of the quality of papers we publish. So first, the approach that has worked for me is to network, to collaborate, and I will tell you how it works. Now, for example, if Dr. Oke, myself, let me pick a few people on the group. Let's assume Dr. Oke, myself, and maybe Dr. Who is there again? Dr. Beatrice. We are in the same discipline, the same field. And I have a research that I'm doing right now. Remember that I cannot do it all alone. So let's assume I was able to do it all alone. I gathered the data, I spent money and all of that. I was able to come up with a paper. I can involve Dr. Oke. Perhaps he's very sound in analysis, data analysis, for example. So I can push my data to him. Dr. Oke, can you help me do this part of it so that we can collaborate together? Now, let's imagine that in 1 year, I publish 5 articles. And Dr. Oke appears on every of the 5 articles. Dr. Oke also tried to push, he has 5 in a year. And Dr. Beatrice also got 5. And my name appears in Dr. Oke's article and Dr. Folusho, bearing in mind that I have to contribute. Now, contribution can depend on whether I edited the manuscript, I analyzed the data, I formatted, I submitted, and all of that. Or perhaps I also followed up with the review process by giving response to reviewers' comments. You imagine in 1 year, I can have 15 papers. So while others are struggling with 5 papers because of, in a way, I'll say the word selfish, They want to keep it to themselves, 5 in a 1 year. I, Dr. K, and myself and Dr. Beatrice would have published 15 in 1 year. And that's it, networking. So please, if you will not remember anything I've said today, extend your hand of friendship to people in your field to build your profile. Very, very important. I was in China doing my PhD in 2016. 2015, I went to China. And in the lab, my host, Prof. Ying Ma, had some PhD students. And you know, in China, Chinese is the official language. A very few PhD students and their supervisors can speak English. So my host said, Samson, can you help my PhD students panel beat their work and all of that? And I agreed. And then imagine, while I was there, I got 3 publications with the Chinese students. Thereafter, when I left, I facilitated a colleague, a friend, to go there for a PhD. Now, all his PhD research, the host and himself, my name appeared in almost 5 of his articles. Collaboration. So try and engage in collaborative research. Network with people so that you can build your profile. And maybe lastly, another politics that many people don't want to talk about is selecting reviewers. Some journals are very open. They allow you to select reviewers that you want to use. Some would use it. Sometimes they do not. But another politics in publishing to help you boost your profile is you select people who are close to you in your field, not necessarily in the same institution, not necessarily in the same school, but who are closely related to your discipline or perhaps in the same discipline. I'll give an instance. If I send an article to food chemistry, for example, and I know that Dr. Sheyi Ajayi is, of course, in food science discipline, person, I can nominate him and tell him, bros, I have sent my work to social journal. Make sure you do the right thing, but my paper must not be rejected. Well, I must have done a quality job, yes, but I need to also ensure that those who look at my paper, because reviewers can be very funny. Some reviewers will pick it up and say, this is jargons. It's coming from Africa. Meanwhile, they also do the same thing. They get good reviewers around and they also make sure that they put some well-published professors on their article. Again, some editors are biased. When they see the name of a well-published man on, they just pass it on. Let's accept this. So these are some of the politics in publication. And then maybe lastly, because of time, I would also say that our design of the experiment is very key. When you want to design your experiment, make sure that you are designing a good experiment that is publishable. A very good example of myself, while I was at the University of Ilorin, all my undergraduate students, I don't give them work that are not publishable. If you look at my Google Scholar profile, on the profile, I'll say that this year alone, I think I have more than 10 articles from my student publications. I have over 58, I think about 15 undergraduate students I was supervised at the University of Ilorin, and virtually all of their work, including my master's student, have been published. So make sure that from the get-go, from the beginning, you design a work that can be published. If you cannot get all your work done, lastly, try and network. I had some students 2 years ago who were working on starch, because that's my area, and then we did not have the facility to do their work here in Nigeria. I contacted somebody in India, sent samples there, and I got analysis done. And I included them on the publication. So it's a very important thing to take note. Networking and collaboration can help boost your profile. I think it's a convenient point to stop. If there are other, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have gained something this afternoon.
Wow. It's getting interesting. Networking, and networking. You see, you can't succeed alone when it comes to academics. And it is high time for us to know the practical things, the politics behind it. If anybody is telling you there's no politics, the person is just telling you lies. We've seen the little one will, our journey so far, we've seen a lot. So please, for us to also join the politics, we need to make our work standard so that you can, and don't just join people. Please put my name. Let my name appear. No, that's not the key. We design a model. You solve this part, let me solve this part. Let me collect the data, you analyze the data. That's part of it. I will give you an example. I attended an interview not quite long, and the only thing they did at that interview is they just go to my profile and pick it up there from I put it on my LinkedIn and on my Google Scholar. They are just telling me, they will pick a paper and ask me, what is your contribution in this paper? So if you are the type that you are just saying, please add my name, what will you be your contribution? If it is only one method, know it very well. If it is only model you can formulate, make sure you know it very well. By the time they are asking you questions, you are able to open up. I contacted Ojodomo some time ago, and he shared a particular slide with me. Do you know the same slide was the one they are using to ask questions? So please, let us open up our research. Don't say I'm a master student. It's not all about being a master student. You can still collaborate with people that matters. If you know your supervisor you are working with is not going area, is not interested in publication, you know where you are going. You can be doing your work sidelined and you focus on your work. God will help us. So do we have questions, please? If you have questions, we can unmute ourselves and ask that question before we quickly talk about the US. Dr. Fadekemi, are you still in the house? Dr. Fadekemi. Okay. If she's there, fine. But if not, I will come up. Okay. For the US stuff, we are, okay, somebody raise up the hand. Okay. Olabimpe Olayinka, please. You can talk. We can't hear you, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, Olabimpe, my question is, I have a question. Oh, I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Those of us like myself, I don't have any publication yet as it is, but I have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree, both cases first class. What can I do to facilitate my immigration plans in this wise? Because all I've been hearing since, it seems like the big leagues that are here and they are the only ones that have chances of immigration. Thank you.
Anyway, it is not all about the big league. You see, one of the error that majority of us would find ourselves, or one of the mistakes we find ourselves is because back home they didn't tell us that publication matters, and at the end of the day we find ourselves where the matters. It is not too late. You can still do something. You can even publish your first degree. You can publish your second degree. It is possible. So you can join I think maybe, are you part of the researcher on the platform? If you are part of the, are you part? Okay, no problem. Maybe we can discuss that one intensively after.
Yes.
We would do that, and we will do that later. But the only thing is, don't write yourself off that, oh, you cannot make it, you don't have publication. You can still do something. It is not too late, as I said. This year now, you can still get 2 or 3 papers this year. It is possible. And why? Because it is not all about our thesis, it is all about our publication. Like Dr. Sampson said, How many of us are on the ResearchGate? How many of us on the LinkedIn? These are the where people normally do the research and do the hire people. So how many of us on ResearchGate? How many of us on Google Scholar and all these platforms? Then how many of us, we ourselves, are we a reviewer? Some of us, they will send work to you to review. You will not review it. Some of us will say, no, you don't have time. The more you say you don't have time to someone else's work, people will say they don't have time to your work too. So it is better, it is good also to be, it's part of learning and it's part of the point, the accounting. Take for example, let me quickly share my experience for the US. US has what we call EB1, EB2. For EB2 is contained, it's all about employment-based visa that you can get your green card. But you cannot achieve this thing without your publication. Your work must be cited. You must have been a publisher for years, might not be too long. I started publication not quite long, but you must be able to do a very good research whereby people can take your research and cite your work. We are going to share the link for all these things. And from there, it at different stages. Last chat we had, we have people on ground that really talk more about how you can go about it. But now we still have a lot of people among us that are still on that track. If you cannot, maybe some of us have tried what we call the IELTS, and you're unable to get anything done from IELTS, or you're unable to pass, you can't pass your, but UK is available for you. You can come in through UK. All these big countries, all these advanced countries, they have something common. So if you can come in through UK, you can still get something done. From UK, you can also move from UK to US, or UK to Canada, UK to Australia. It is easier at that point because they are from any part of Europe. It is easier. Then how do we do this thing? It's all about packaging. Now, go back to the issue of the EB1 and EB2. For EB1 and EB2, there are things that are involved that are very key in EB1 and EB2. Take, for example, I've mentioned about publication. I've mentioned about your citation. Citation is not necessary to be hundreds of citations. I remember they did what EB1 and EB2 they normally do in USCIS. They call them USCIS, the body that is involved. As a Nigerian, you need what we call approval for I-140. That's the name of the visa, the code, I-140 or NIW. NIW is National Interest Waiver. National Interest Waiver means they don't need any things for you to get in. For example, you don't need employment before they give you, because you don't need to pass through all those things. So what you need is just to have a good record of publication, a good citation. I approached my lawyer, because you need immigration lawyer to carry out those things. When I started with 11 points. I have 11 citations. So if you are still 50, 30, 100, 200, you are more than qualified. I started with 11 in 2018. When I approached the lawyer, they said, and I quote, that they know that mathematics is, applied mathematics. They know that applied mathematics is difficult to get more citation. However, they will continue, but they believe that before we reach this point of submission, I will have gotten people enough citation. And at the end of the day, I continued like that, and I submitted, to be precise, December 2019, because I need recommendation letter. That is one of the things we are talking about. In academics, let them know your presence. Let people cite your work. When you are citing people's work, people will definitely cite your work too. It is not all about politics. It is all about reality. Because I publish on malaria, you do not cite You saw my work. You said, oh, it's from Nigeria. I don't need to cite. I need to cite from US. It's a lie. You need to cite people that matters too. So that, like one of Emeritus said, he said, if you don't blow your trumpet, who will help you blow it? So we need to blow our trumpets among ourselves, so that it's not necessary that you must look elsewhere, look inward. That is why on Researcher, it's one of the mandatory things. Once you publish your work, your first or second publication, please upload your publication on the platform, so that people within your circle can also affect it and cite your work accordingly. So all these things are matters. So your citation goes a long way. It opens doors for you when it comes to immigration. We are not training ourselves to migrate illegally. We are talking about legal things, what people are doing. So I want to employ us. Please let us take note of these things. They are the key. If you are not sure of yourself, please ask questions. We have a lot of people on platform. They are good publishers. They are good researchers. They are not taught in any part of the world. We have a lot of us are not on Zoom today because of the time schedule. And like Dr. Ojodomo is saying, right now they will be maybe past 12 a.m. in Japan. Canada now, they just wake up. US, they just wake up, and some other part of the world. So please, I want to encourage us, as we are all Nigerians, and we want to keep it that way. We are opening another platform later, but not now. But for today, we are still Nigerian, and let's try as much as possible and help one another. I want to submit at this point, and the other platform, we will also share the links on other platform, and we will get started. We need to encourage one another. Thank you so much. So I want to ask, if you have any question, please let us open up the question time. If something is not clear to you, if you want to ask from any of the presenters, please, you can raise up your hand, then you can unmute you. If anything is difficult or you are passing through any challenges, like Olabimpe said now about publication, we take note of that, and then maybe after now we will pick it up and we'll try to encourage ourselves. Any other question, please? If you have any question, yes, somebody is raising up the hand. Okay, Abimbola Folami, you can unmute yourself, ma.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation and thanks for the presenters. I have a question for the Global Challenge.
Okay.
Situation, because from the document it says eminent person. And in a situation whereby we have somebody that is a doctor and he's not a professor yet, and that his body has been in research for a long time. And then the area of specialization, let's say the person has been working in the area that the doctor is for the past maybe 5 years, can we use that person as a recommender, or how will I put it?
Okay. Yeah, as someone that would recommend you. Ojodoma, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Doctor.
Did you hear the question, sir?
Well, not clearly. The line wasn't very clear on my side.
Yeah, same thing here. Doctor.
But I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Oh, then let me quickly remove my speaker and I can say it again.
Okay.
Okay, it's better now.
Go ahead. Abimbola, please go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Clearly.
Yes, I can hear you now. Clearly now.
Okay, sorry about that. What's the question I had? I said, if I have a person that is for Global Talent, that is a doctor, and in the document they said eminent person, and the only person I could find is a doctor, but he's not a professor. But my recent work for the past 5 years is we are in the same field. Can I use that type of person to write me a letter?
Okay. Well, okay, I'll try to answer as much as possible with the information that I've gathered around so far about this. First, the person needs to be based in the UK and preferably a UK citizen. Is that the case? That's number one.
Yes, that is the case.
So I think, well, I also think that there are young, eminent people, high profile young people in the in the academia as well. So I think, in my opinion, I think you can give it a try, because it is not just only that letter that qualifies you. I think they just look at everything. Everything needs to make sense together. You have a recommender, somebody that is reliable in terms of established in their field, and your profile is also good. You have a lot of evidence to show, from publications to citations to awards and all these kind of things. So I think, yeah, you can still give it a try. Yeah, in my opinion.
Okay. Abimbola, are you okay with that?
Okay, I think for now it's fine.
Okay. Dr. Samson, do you have any alternative? Dr. Samson, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
With what she's asking, the question she's asking us is,
Yes,
when you have someone that is not a professor,
yes, sir,
and can the person also write for Global Talent?
Thank you, sir. I think I would want to throw the part of the previous response.
Okay.
Basically, the word eminent means somebody who is highly respected in that field. The person may not necessarily be a professor, or may have been widely published, has enough research grants, you know, and basically the person is an authority in that profession, basically. So that's it. That's it. And as long as you have a relationship with that person, the person can write the letter for you. So it's not the person doesn't have to be a professor.
Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily. I don't think so.
Then also, let me ask two of you this question: does publication and citation matters?
Can I respond, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead, sir. You can go ahead.
Please
I'll
go
come
ahead.
after you. I'll come after you.
Okay. Yeah, I think, of course. Yeah. I don't think you should be asking if these two parameters, if they matter, because how else are they really going to judge your research and academic prowess? You see, apart from the later. So I don't think we should contemplate whether these two really matter. If you have them, is the more your chances. I think that is just
okay.
It's anyone's guess anyway.
Okay. But no, why I asked the question is, you raised something the other time. You said, and I quote, that we don't really know what they look for. You remember that talk? You said you don't really know which aspects, which one are they really looking into? That's why you encourage people to write good personal statements. I remember that. That's why I put it to you guys. Okay, somebody raise up their hand. I'm coming. Dr. Olorunfemi, over to you, ma.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to the presenters. God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I just want to ask regarding the recommendation letter, someone that need to recommend someone. I just heard someone mention that I must be a UK citizen. Is that correct?
Yes, someone mentioned that, but we are not too sure.
Yes, that is well. The reason why I mentioned that is because I have a friend who wanted to try the global talent, this standard peer review part. He did his MSc in the UK, so he was looking for someone to write to him, and I asked him, why didn't you use your supervisor? And the first thing he said, his supervisor is Polish. So, and as such, he's not yet a professor. And he's currently in between UK and Poland and going back and forth. He's affiliated here and there and not there. So there is a high chance if you have a UK citizen, but if you also have an eminent professor who is based in the UK, of course, either naturalized or permanently resident in the UK, of course you can use, but I think it states clearly the person must be in an institution, must be in the UK, a big player, a big academic, an academic person in the UK. So maybe not a UK citizen, but of course they need to be domiciled in the UK. Everything they are known in the UK for their academic pursuit or their academic levels. So I don't think it must be a UK citizen, but I think it's caused. I don't know if it's better, but at least the person should be in the UK. That is a key thing.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So I just said I should clarify that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Ibironke, over to you, ma. Or sir.
Okay, thank you. And I really enjoyed being at this meeting this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Okay, my question is presently still doing my PhD. I've not finished yet. So I want to confirm, like this type of stuff, going outside and traveling, do you think is really good at this point, or you think someone should finish first? That's my first question. And second question, I heard you mentioned something about data analysis.
Okay.
And you said maybe you can introduce people to the person in terms of maybe you need to connect yourself to people that are in the same field. So I really appreciate that.
Okay. Let me quickly answer this. Number one, it depends on your PhD. Which area are you doing your PhD?
I'm working on air quality.
As in which department?
Environmental science.
Environmental science. Now, it all depends. Like I said, it is always advisable you finish your work, except if you have better opportunity where you are going, or you can collaborate with someone abroad that can be a co-supervisor, whatever, that you can visit the lab or visit the department or visit the group. It depends. That's from my own view. Then number two, in your field, that's why we have the platform. I don't know whether you already joined the platform. I shared the link the other time. If you've joined the platform, there will be a time, I'm still going to post some of the instruction on the platform whereby everybody will introduce themselves. You introduce yourself, people in your field will also reach out with you. This platform alone has given birth to a lot of publication. People have collaborated on the platform and they've published here and there. Myself, that are even part of the platform, when I saw the publication, I was asking questions. They said, yes, they met on the platform. So I don't know whether I've answered your question. Then if you want to travel, have I answered it, please?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Adams. Okay, somebody wants to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to advise that this is Dapo here, Canada.
Okay.
I just wanted to also advise that, while you're doing your PhD, if you have an opportunity to do your analysis, your experimental analysis in any part of the world, reach out to people, people that you've seen that done air quality, done things in air quality. And, I can't remember, Dr. Sampson said, China, if the opportunity takes you to any part of the world, so explore it, go for it. And through that, you would also be able to gain new network, new collaboration, and you never know, you might even get a postdoctoral opportunity in all those places. I remember when I was doing my PhD, there was an opportunity for me to go to Europe. There, I didn't really explore it, but one of my friends that explored it, he went to Europe from Canada. He went to Sweden. After, when he came back, he returned back to Sweden for his postdoc. Now he's a head of a lab manager in that lab in Sweden right now, and he's been doing well. So, if I wouldn't want you to limit yourself to say, okay, it's Nigeria. No, even while in Nigeria, I've had people from South Africa come to Canada, from Nigeria, come to Canada to do some part of their work, and and through that they're able to gain more network and more collaboration. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Dr. Adam. Okay, sir.
Adam. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. This program is really an eye-opening, and I really enjoy it. I want to ask a question that if you're applying for postdoc, maybe in the universities in Canada, is it compulsory you must have a faculty, you must have a kind of discussion with a faculty member of the university you are applying to before you put in your application?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I got your question. That is, must you have host, somebody you are chatting with?
Yes.
Now, it's in two ways.
Exactly.
I will ask some people to also talk about it. It's in two ways. Take, for example, number one.
Okay.
Maybe I secure a grant. You understand? I secure a grant and I ask people, I need people to work with me. I now throw the advance through my university. I need a postdoc. Some of us working as a postdoc on this platform, somebody employ us. We got there through someone.
Okay.
That is, the person he or she advertised and we applied. And we know that we are going to lab A to work with who? To work with so person. So there must be a communication between you guys.
Okay.
Number two, if it is university postdoc, most university will ask you, make sure you have a particular person that will host you in department of your choice. Meaning, you need to look for someone, check their profile on internet, chat with the person, send a mail, introduce yourself. That's where the packages start from. You can't just say you want to work with in advanced country without you have to establish what we call relationship. For example, I got a particular position in the US sometimes ago, and I just got this particular thing on Twitter. The man just said, if you are interested in so working in my lab, send your CV to this email. Not more than 2 pages. And my CV, our CV at home now, we make it everything, your local government, your stationery, everything, you put it there. I have to first of all remove all those jargons because it's not necessary. That is where formatting your CV comes in. So it is those ones are not necessary. I have to remove them. After removing them, then I focus on what's the man. I visited his lab online. I check what they are doing, and I tailor my CV towards that thing. And the man called me. They sent me a message, and I was interviewed. I was shortlisted. I was interviewed. I got the job, but due to the issue of Donald Trump ban Nigeria, ban the visa. That was when I could not make it then. So you can get job on Twitter, you can get it on Facebook. Some of us, we don't like social media. People are taking advantage of social media to get a job. I got this thing live and direct on Twitter. And let us change our mindset. Don't say because you're a Nigerian, that's why you don't get the job. It's a lie. Delete that mindset. I was staying in Ekpaja and I got the job from Ekpaja. So forget about it in Lagos. So it is not because you are in Nigeria. It is all about your packaging, the way you package yourself. God will help us. Any other question, please? Yes. Any other question? So before we call it a day,
thanks so much. I really enjoyed it.
If you have any other question, please, you can raise up your hand. And otherwise, we are closing up. Can we please open our video if it's possible? Every one of us, if you can open your video, please open it. Let's just take a screenshot. I will put it on our platform. Yes, I can see some of us are coming up with our pictures, our video. Yes, it's good.
Some of us are freezing here, so the picture
Some of
might
us
not
are
be nice.
freezing because of cold.
Yeah.
In South Africa, I can see. I know some of us are freezing already, but we can still take the shot the way it is, and so that it kind of yeah, I can see some of us already putting our night jackets. Some of us are about to sleep. So it is good to see our faces and here and there. So we can also, this conversation can continue from our platform. And I want to encourage every one of us, we are all welcome to the platform, and I will post some of those things. Make sure you introduce yourself, tell us your field. Yeah, so that we can, from then we can see, we can network further. If you're in mathematics, fine. If you're in statistics, if you're in education, if you're in accounting, any other field you find yourself, please, we will share the link on the platform, so that the YouTube link, we can share it on the platform so that everybody, if you missed it, you can always go back to it, and you can still make a reference to it. Please, if you need any assistance when it comes to what we are discussing, please don't hesitate to chat me up on the platform. Once again, my name is Shegun Oke. I'm a mathematician, and I want to thank these our fellow brothers that have helped us today to share more light. Dr. Engineer Dapo, or Engineer Dr. Dapo Awolayo from Canada, Calgary. My good friend, Jodomo, is a professor anyway, don't mind him. He's a professor. He just secured a very big grant here in the UK. He will also be relocated to UK very soon. And we have Dr. Samson. These are the guru when it comes to publications. They know. So I know some of them. And I appreciate every one of us for coming in. I can see Samuel Okwade, all the way from South Africa too. He's also a good guy. He also a good publisher. I can see Ake Olaleru and Adamu Azan. These are my big boss. Adamu Azan is also a mathematician, currently in UNISA in South Africa. I can see a lot of people. I can see a couple. They are good. Abimbola Folami. I can see them. Okay, guys, you guys are welcome. And I believe we continue to move from this point to the other. And Akitolu Morakinyo is also an educationist and good publishers. And some of us, please don't, on the platform, just ask any questions. People are there to assist. Make sure you ask that silly, what you consider is a silly question, just ask. You will see the solution. So I pray God will help us. And at the end, the friendship will be good when we are all together in the same boat. So let's try and help one another. Thank you so much for coming. Our technical for today, Dr. Sheyi, all the way from UK. Thank you so much, sir, for making it. This program is live, and on YouTube, it's live, and we'll share the link. As time goes on, another training will come up, especially e-learning, e-training. E-learning, as in how do you present your work on when it comes to e-learning. Take for example, a lot of we are all benefiting from one video or the other. We can also make our video. What you know, that method you can make your video. You know that. Just 5-minute video can go a long way. People will cite it. The people are getting a lot of citation there and there. So all this method we know, when we begin to share it, the more you release, the more you get. That is my principle. And that's why we put this thing together. Thank you so much, everyone. You can unmute yourself. You can exchange pleasantry to one another. For those of you that you've seen yourself for a long time, please unmute yourself. Thank you so much. Our technical, you can give us underground music, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Professor, okay. God bless you, sir.
I'm still a doctor. Those
Thank you.
Hey,
thank you so much. I really enjoyed the talk. Yes, and I
thank you, guys.
thank you guys for being there for us. We that are back home here.
Don't worry.
We appreciate the talk. It's a very good one and an enlightening one. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyway,
I'm running with it.
You just have to. We have to do that. You are welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Okay.
Doctor. You are welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Okay. Oh, how are you?
Thank you.
Dr. Jodomo Ashadu, thank you so much. We appreciate your contributions.
Really appreciate you're welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
And Dr. Solomon Ojelade of Univenda, how are you, sir?
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
I'm very fine. I'm very fine.
You don't come on it. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, you are all welcome.
Dr. MMO.
Dr. Israel, how are you?
Dr. MMO.
I'm fine. Thank you.